everyone. Wendy Zapata with NorCal Financial and Insurance Solutions, and today's topic is the fast track to success. So in order to be successful, I recommend strength in several areas. And here's some professional tips that could be beneficial for individuals across any kind of industry. This is going to work for anybody. So the first thing is relationships. So relationships that are within the scope of influence for whatever career choice that you have made. And also personal brand and the depth of connections. So that's where we're really going to focus, is in the depth of connections. So networking is one of the best ways to build a strong professional network and very essential for career growth. Attend industry events, join online forums or groups, and connect with others in your field to expand your network and learn from their experiences. So this is really key, whether you're starting out or you've moved to a new town, or if you just have been a little rusty or coming off of COVID. A lot of us have developed different habits since COVID took place. And it's a good time for us to get back out into our communities and solidify some relationships and also create some new relationships. So I'm going to recommend that you get out there and start saying yes to things that you're not usually doing. Don't hang out with the same people. Broaden your relationship base. You will be pleasantly surprised. Oftentimes I don't want to do something and I say yes and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I did it. So the second thing is going to be persistence. Having developmental plans and executing goals with consistency, okay? So a goal is something with a timeline and very obtainable. If you take the steps to get there. So time management is a big proponent of that. You want to prioritize your task based on their urgency and importance, and break down larger projects into smaller manageable tasks or smaller manageable goals. It is so nice to check something off. It releases those endorphins. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel accomplished. And that is the biggest thing, especially if you're self-employed. I want you to feel that way anyway, but when you're self-employed, you are your own boss and your own employee. So you want to have those feelings of gratification that you've achieved something or you have something to mark off. Also, learn to delegate when possible and avoid multitasking, as it can decrease productivity. It took me about 10 years to learn this. I'm not good at everything. It's so nice to be able to delegate things out to other people. So where your weak spot is, or things that you're not really into, maybe you don't want to make the phone calls, or you don't want to do the data entry, or you don't want to do your billing. You need to give that task to somebody else. And oftentimes we say, well, I can't afford that. Okay, you can, because your time is so valuable and you're going to add more value to your clients or to whatever you are creating when you free up that time of those little, mundane things that you're not into. So remember that. Make yourself a priority and remember how valuable you are. Effective communication is so incredibly important. Practice active listening. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. I forget this oftentimes because I do like to talk. However, if you sit down and you have a conversation with somebody, it is amazing the things that you're going to learn from that person. And depending on what field you're in, for instance, I'm in insurance and retirement planning. People will oftentimes talk to me and tell me their story, and I will hear exactly what they need without ever asking. So get used to having that ability when it comes to communication. But do ask questions and be open to feedback. It is really nice to get feedback, whether it's good or bad. Develop strong written and verbal communication skills. Excuse me. And tailor your message to your audience to ensure that your message is clear and well received. So, knowledge is so important. This is our next key. You want to be continually learning. Always be a student. Number one, don't hang out with people that know it all, because nobody can know it all and those aren't your people. They often say that you are the result of the 5 people you hang out with the most. So take inventory of that. Are they making you better? How do you feel around these people? And always be a student. There's so much to learn. Stay up to date on industry trends and advancements by attending workshops, conferences, and webinars. And consider pursuing relevant certifications or professional development courses. This will help you stay relevant and competitive in your field. Times are changing faster than we've ever seen in our world, with social media and the web and the new technology that's out, the ability for us to reach the masses like I'm doing right now through video. You need to stay relevant, and you also have to have the ability to provide accurate, relevant information and share it in an easy, understandable way. It is your profession. So if you are a mechanic or you are a videographer, okay, make sure that you can explain what you're doing in simple, easy ways, and try not to use those acronyms in your own profession. And people love that, because they feel like they're on the same level with you, even though you are the expert and the professional, and they do know that as well. Another thing is adaptability. So be open to change and willing to learn new skills or technologies. Embrace challenges and view them as opportunities for growth and development. I'm doing that right now with the CRM, which is a client retention manager. So it is a computer program where I can put in all my clients. It'll remind me when their policy anniversary is. It gives me their phone number, their age, yada, yada, yada. It is so not my wheelhouse, but you know what? I am learning it, and it's something that it makes me feel good when I accomplish something and learn something new. Emotional intelligence, develop self-awareness, empathy, and the ability to manage your emotions in professional settings. Sometimes we need to excuse ourselves. If you're feeling a little heated in the moment, or you're not agreeing with something, walk away. And if you have to have a conversation, then make sure that you do it one-on-one. Never do it in a public setting. That is just not cool, especially when we are, I wouldn't like that with myself. Emotional intelligence is crucial for building strong relationships with colleagues, clients, and supervisors. And set SMART goals, which are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So goals can be as little as you want or as big as you want. The world is your oyster. Whatever you think that you want, you actually can achieve. But once again, like I said, it's nice to have some of those goals that you can mark off daily, and those bigger goals, you want to constantly move towards them. Personal branding. Cultivate a strong personal brand that reflects your skills, values, and expertise. Maintain a professional online presence and be mindful of the image you project on social media. I cannot stress this more. You are a professional and you are a community advocate. So especially when you live in a smaller town. So if you're trying to build those relationships and you're trying to build yourself, be mindful of what you're putting out on social media because it's evergreen, meaning it will stay forever and ever and ever. What you did 5 or 6 years ago on social media, somebody definitely can find. So just know that in the back of your mind. I don't want you to be fake. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying everything you do when you are starting in your career, entrepreneurship, whatever you're doing, be mindful and intentional of what you're putting out there for yourself. Mentorship, seek out a mentor who can offer guidance, support, and advice based on their own experiences. Alternatively, consider becoming a mentor to someone in your field to help them grow and develop. This is probably the biggest piece of advice that I can give you. It is so incredibly rewarding to mentor others because it keeps you relevant, it keeps you excited, it keeps you engaged in everything that you're doing and keeps your focus. So definitely, if you say, well, I'm looking for a mentor, somebody's looking for you too. It is a win-win for each of you. And lastly, make sure that you have a work-life balance. Oftentimes when we are self-employed, we do get very consumed with what we are creating or our love. Like, people ask me what my hobbies are. I love what I do. Make sure that you make time for your family and your grandchildren, your children, your significant other. Take those road trips. Go out and smell the flowers. Make some awesome food. Do those things that keep you close and separate you. We all need that time to refresh and then come back to what we're doing. Okay, I hope you got some value from this. If you're ever looking for a mentor and you're interested in what I do for a living, I would love to see if we could create a relationship and possibly do something together.